Welcome to San Francisco. Today, I'm going to tell you about the biggest tourist scams that are happening in the city. I'm hearing about them, I'm seeing them, and I want to tell you more about them. I'm Jill. I live right here in the heart of San Francisco, and not only am I going to tell you about them, but I'm going to tell you how to avoid them. The first scam is about Alcatraz only tour tickets, and there are two scams that I'm seeing right now. The first one is where you go to a website and you buy the ticket. They email you a ticket, but it's a fake ticket, or they just ghost you and you're out your money. The second type of scam is where you buy a tour ticket, an Alcatraz only tour ticket, and they add a $20 to $30 surcharge on that. So you do get a legitimate ticket, but you're actually paying more for the experience. So where will you find legitimate Alcatraz only tours? There are two websites to look for. One is Alcatraz City Cruises. This is where you can buy all of the day, night, and behind the scenes tours. But you can also find them on their parent company website, which is City Experiences. Certain companies are allowed to resell Alcatraz tour tickets, but they must sell them in combination with another tour or activity. So if you see things that are Alcatraz plus Muir Woods or Alcatraz plus the Hop On Hop Off bus, those are legitimate tickets to Alcatraz as well. The Alcatraz combo tickets are also a great find if you find that your dates are sold out. Often these companies like Get Your Guide and Viator will still have some tickets for those dates. Now, one last comment, if somebody tries to sell you their Alcatraz only tickets directly, know that it's a scam because those tickets are not transferable. Scam number two is around vacation rentals in San Francisco. Now, there are some very strict laws around them, which puts them in short supply, but it also allows you to quickly spot a scam. The law is very detailed, and I'm not going to bore you with the specifics, but just know that everyone that does short-term vacation rentals in San Francisco, they are required to register with the city and get a short-term rental certificate. That certificate is tied to their address, so you can quickly see if it's a scam, whether you're booking through an official site like Airbnb or VRBO, or you decide to take the risk and book directly. Once you have their address, you can double check if it's a legitimate place to stay by seeing if there is a short-term rental certificate attached to their address. You'll find that on the San Francisco Planning website, and just go to their SF Planning app section, look up the address, and that's where you'll see if they have a short-term rental certificate. If they don't have one, you know that it's not a legitimate rental or it's a scam. And I did add the link below so you can quickly find out. Scam number three is around fake event tickets or paying too much for event tickets. And it's similar to the Alcatraz ones that I talked about, but I do want to call this out because it happens here quite a bit. San Francisco has a number of very popular, very large concerts and festivals every year that sell out immediately. So this is a big one to note, just because you want to make sure you're really careful if you're buying tickets to an event or festival that is not an official ticket reseller. So I recommend going to StubHub, or Ticketmaster will do some reselling for these, but just make sure that you're really, really careful, because this is a scammer's dream to get your money, your extra money, for one of these big concerts or festivals that sells out every year. Scam number four is around parking and QR codes around the city. The first thing to know is that the city of San Francisco does not allow you to pay by QR code at any of the city meters or city parking lots. So if you happen to see a QR code sticker on any of the city meters, know that it's a scam and just ignore it. There are several ways to pay for your parking in San Francisco. You can use cash, credit or debit cards, and there are also two apps that allow you to pay directly. Just note, they each charge 35 cents each time you use them. I want to briefly talk about private parking lots around San Francisco. Some of those do allow you to pay by QR code, but what the scammers do is they place their own sticker, their QR code sticker, right over the official one, which means the money goes directly to them. So what you need to do is just wipe your hand over the QR code really quickly and make sure that there's not a sticker over it. And there's one more parking scam that you need to know about that happens usually in more of the touristy areas, and this is fake parking tickets. And guess how they're asking you to pay? By QR code. Now remember what I said in the beginning? San Francisco does not allow you to pay for parking, but also parking tickets by QR code. So if you get a parking ticket and it has a QR code on it, just know that it's fake. Scam number 5 is actually a multi-part one with several scams to look out for with taxis and rideshares. We're going to start with taxis. When you book a taxi through an app, one of the scams that's running right now is you get in the car and they say the payment didn't go through and they ask for cash. Well, what just happened is you just paid twice. The next taxi scam is happening at SFO, and this is where somebody approaches you saying that they're an official taxi. They take your luggage, you get in the car, you notice there's no meter. They're not official, and what happens is they overcharge you. And then, of course, there's the classic taxi scam, which is you get in the car and they say the meter's broken. So then, of course, what happens? They also overcharge you. So when you're at SFO, I recommend that you go to the official taxi stand to get a taxi. That way you know it's legitimate. And if you ever get into a taxi, whether at SFO or in the city, and they say their meter is broken or they want you just to pay a flat rate, just know that that is not legitimate. You're probably going to get overcharged. That is a scam, so just quickly get out. There's also a rideshare scam going on right now, and this is what I call the imposter scam, where you're waiting for your rideshare, somebody pulls up and says, "Hey, are you waiting for your rideshare?" You get in, and what you find out at the end of the ride is that they're asking you for money because it was not your official rideshare. So before you get into the car, make sure that you double check the license plate and the make and model of the car, because that is the one that you're paying for and you don't want to get scammed. Another rideshare scam that's popping up is they are asking you to cancel the ride in the app once you get in the car. Don't do it. Keep everything in the app. Scam number 6 is what I call the cable car hustle. The lines at the cable car turnarounds can get really, really long. So what scammers are doing is they're walking up to people in line, telling them for a small fee, they will walk them to the next cable car stop where they won't have to wait in line as long. The reality is that the cable car stops are really easy to find. Just look for one of these brown and white signs, and the cable cars stop there every single time they come through. Now, you may not get as good of a spot as if you wait at the turnarounds, but you definitely will not need to wait as long. Next is the costumed character scam, and this one is specific to Fisherman's Wharf. In the district, you're going to see costumed characters, and what they're doing is they're going to wave you over and say, "Hey, come take a free picture." And the minute you take that picture, or right before you take that picture, they're going to try to charge you $20, $30, sometimes $40 to take a picture with them. Not all of them are scams, but some of them are. So I recommend just staying away from them or agreeing to a price before you take your pictures. Scam number 8 is the distraction scam. This one's happening mostly in Fisherman's Wharf, and this is when somebody walks up to you, asks you to take a group photo, and in turn what they're trying to do is they're hoping to steal something from you while you're distracted and taking their photo. They're hoping you put your phone in your back pocket, or your purse is unzipped, or you set a bag or your backpack down, and this is when someone will bump into you while you're taking the picture and try to steal something from you. The best way to stay safe is, of course, not to take the picture, but there are legitimate people asking for that. So another way to stay safe is to hand all of your belongings to somebody that's with you, make sure that they're watching you, make sure that they're kind of watching the group and not just paying attention to you and also being distracted by you taking the photo. At times, they're also gonna drop their phone as you hand it back to them and say that you broke it and then demand money. So this is kind of a two-part scam. Some people are doing it in different ways, but if you do decide to take somebody's photo for them, just be really, really careful when you do it. Scam number 9 is the handout scam, and I'm seeing this in a few different forms around the city right now. The first is the CD scam, and I see this almost every single time I'm in Fisherman's Wharf. And how this scam works is there are people walking around the district handing out quote unquote free CDs. Once you take one of their free CDs, they ask you if you want it personalized. The minute it's personalized, they will tell you they can't use it anymore and you have to pay for it. And at times they can get pretty aggressive about this, where if you don't pay, they bring their friends over, and then it gets really uncomfortable until you pay. So if somebody walks up and hands you a CD, just don't take it. This is one that you're probably gonna see when you're in this district. The next two scams are around very aggressive donations. The first, and this is usually when you're standing in line at the cable car turnarounds, is that people will slip a bracelet on your wrist. Once it's there, they will aggressively ask you for a donation. So what should you do? Just simply take it off and hand it back to them. The next one, and I haven't seen this myself, but it's still being reported, is that monks are handing out free bracelets as well. Once you take one, then they're aggressively asking you for money for peace, but it's just a complete scam. So the overall message is that if somebody hands you something or tries to slip a bracelet on your wrist, simply just hand it back or just walk away. You do not owe them anything. Scam number 10 is about paying for your hotel booking twice. This one is not San Francisco specific, but it's one that you really need to know about. What's happening is hackers are breaking into some of the official hotel booking sites. They're grabbing your confirmation number, your email address, and even your phone number and all the information that they need about your stay. What they do next is they either text you, which is usually how this works, or they email you a link saying that you need to reconfirm your booking. When in reality, that link is going to go to a fake site where you're going to plug in your information and you're going to end up paying for your hotel room a second time. So if you get any sort of text or email saying that there's an issue with your booking, contact the place where you booked directly or even the hotel to confirm what they need for your reservation. Don't ever click on a text link that tells you you need to click on it in order to reconfirm your booking or re-add your payment. That will help keep you safe from this scam. Those are the most common scams I'm seeing around San Francisco right now. If I missed one, make sure to drop it in the comments below. And if you have questions about your upcoming trip, make sure to add that to the comments below as well, and I will help you with your upcoming stay in San Francisco.